All right, what's going on, family? This right here is the continuation of the Joshua's first flight. If you haven't checked it out, you can look at the other videos that we have. Now, we've landed in Miami. We started with his first flight from Atlanta to Miami. So now I'm in Miami. I'm headed to go get the rental car. So I thought. So I left my family back at baggage claim. I'm like, look, y'all don't need to go on this 8-mile trek from one side of the airport to the other side, catching transfers and trains and all that stuff, just to get to the quote-unquote rental car center. I'ma go. But I knew that I was going to be in for some mess because I booked the car for 7 days. They said, hey, it's only going to be $50. I'm like, that's not right. But you know how it is when you're booking trips. We booked the flights, and then they were like, hey, man, we got deals on rental cars. We got deals on hotels. But my wife uses hotel.com, so we don't really need a deal on a hotel. But they kept sending this rental car thing over and over and over again because we were just going to take a couple shuttles and a couple Ubers, and that was going to be it from the port to the from the airport to the actual port to the hotels, back and forth. But I'm like, all right, look, cool. Y'all want to give it to me for $50? All right, I'll read the red tape. We'll see. All right, get there. This is the rental car center. They're not located in the rental car center. They have a shuttle to take you away from the airport to their little hole in the wall off the airport. So they call off-site rental car. Red flag number one. All right, this company is called New Rentals or something like that. You'll see the logo. So this right here is my confirmation. It says 7 days. I deposit $16. I'm gonna have to pay $30. That's pretty much what they were saying, right? Man, I get there. They got this little booth on the side. No real person in there working. They got that little small little office right there where there's a virtual person in there that talk to you and try to trick you out of all your money. That's pretty much all it is. The little booking that we did online was fake and phony. It was just a bunch of mess. They're trying to charge you all kind of extra fees and this, that, and talk all the way around in circles. I'm like, bro, listen. I understand the game. I know I was going to pay some more, but I'm not going to pay, $1,000 more just for whatever. Take me back to the airport and get me up out of here. Take me back to the airport. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to go rent a car from a real rental car agency. I go to Avis. My phone is dying at this point. But I still got to get back to my family and I go through, put in a reservation. All right, cool. I'm going to go Avis. I'm going to rent the car instead of 7 days. I'm just going to rent the car for the day. Going to go to Walmart, go do what we got to do. And then we'll just come back, drop the car, the car for the airport tomorrow, and then go to the port. Guess what? Somebody's sitting in my car. Sitting in my car. I'm like, well, hold on, lady. Do you work for Avis? Like, nah, this is my car. I just got it. She's like, no, you got Avis. This is a budget car. So if you saw budget on the wall, you know that Avis and budget kind of, if you don't rent a car, they kind of like the same company. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, maybe they just don't share parking spaces. I couldn't have been more wrong. So Avis budget, I've been renting for them for a long, long time. So they send me all kind of promotional codes and this, that, and the third. So that's why I just chose them. So I know that you can go into one location and they have both Avis and budget in the same location. But I didn't know about this parking situation. So the car she was actually in was the car they rented me. But I didn't know it because it was parked in budget. My paperwork says Avis. I walk another green mile, walk all over this place to every parking spot that had Avis' name on it, only to find out later, once I actually got with the guy, that the parking spot, they share parking spots. So the car she was in was actually my car. So now he's just like, all right, man, I'm going to give you any other car. Just let me see what's available. I'm going to scan it, see if it's been rented. If it hasn't been rented, I'm just going to give it to you. Probably the same thing somebody just did to the other person that was driving the car that I was supposed to get. But I'm like, all right, cool. Look, I need a car. Let's go. This little other young guy there, he's like, hey, have you ever done this before? Have you ever transferred a car before? He's like, no, okay, I'm going to train you. I'm like, bro, now is not the time to train anybody. I've already been delayed with one situation that have nothing to do with you. Then I get a car that's already somebody else is already sitting in and then drove off with. Now you got to transfer me a car. It just was what I call the rental car nightmare. So he's trying to train him. I'm ready to go. He finally go ahead and get everything squared away. I checked the car out, man. I'm like, all right, look, let me just go. I got to get my family. They back at baggage claim waiting on me. All right, so now I'm rolling. I'm like, all right, cool. I can leave. Only thing I gotta do is just go back to arrivals and go pick my wife, my son up. No. There's another checkpoint before you leave where you got to go through that checkpoint. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I can't call my wife and tell her, hey, I'm on my way. This, that, and the third. I tried to send her a little text or whatever, but I was using, quote unquote, the GPS on my phone to kind of get right back to the right spot. So I wasn't, and my phone was about to die. I don't have no charger with me. Wasn't planning on being gone for 2 hours, but finally get back to my family, get my son, take my wife on to Walmart so she can go get the Pampers and a few other things that we need that we're going to take on this cruise ship. My son's hungry, so I jump in the back seat and just feed him and burp him and play with him. And then we go in there and go play around with mama for a little bit in the store before, because she took forever to find out the stuff and everything. But it was all, it turned out okay, but we were supposed to go out to eat. We didn't get a chance to go out to eat because I done burnt 2 hours and 15 minutes just trying to go get a car. So for the company, the new rental company, wherever it is, don't do business with them per my recommendation, but you can do it on your own. But other than that, man, this was just the rental car nightmare. But we got on to the hotel and got some sleep and got on our boat the next day. All right, but peace and love. But that's the end of the story.